Well, an extraordinary moment on the South Carolina campaign trail yesterday. Governor John Kasich was speaking to voters when a young man stood up. And what happened next has appeared on virtually every broadcast in the nation.
I drove up today from the University of Georgia, and sorry for y'all, but I did it because I wanted to let you know and let everyone else here know why I'm supporting you and why that support is unwavering. And I don't want to get too emotional, but it's pretty serious, but it has a happy ending. Like over a year ago, a man who was like my second dad, he killed himself. And then a few months later, my parents got a divorce. And then a few months later, my dad lost his job. And I was in a really dark place for a long time. I was pretty depressed. But I found hope. And I found it in the Lord and in my friends. And now I've found it in my presidential candidate that I support. And I'd really appreciate one of those hugs you've been talking about.
Joining me now, Republican presidential candidate and Ohio Governor John Kasich. Governor, it's great to see you. What a moment that was. And to your credit, when you whispered in that young man's ear, you did not lift up the microphone. You had a private moment with him where you shared whatever it is you shared. And then you went back to speak to the crowd and talked about what you learned on the campaign trail when it comes to renewal and human connection. Tell us now.
Well, you might remember, Megan, when we did this interview when I was in New Hampshire, I was telling you about these special private moments that people have felt comfortable coming to, of all things, a political town hall and talking about things that people really feel deeply about. I have some guests here tonight. I'm not going to give you any of the background, but they came to see me because they have a very serious problem in their family. And, I think they're seeing most of the candidates, but I've had a little private meeting with them, and it's just there's something that has struck me about the needs of people out there who feel disconnected. And what I've been saying is we all need to slow down a little bit, put ourselves in each other's shoes, and begin to live a life bigger than ourselves, Megan. Because, look, we want to elect a president, but where you grew up and I grew up, we didn't have anybody coming in on a white Charger trying to solve all of our problems. A lot of times we roll up our sleeves, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and connect with other human beings, because deep inside of us is sort of a notion that we do want to be connected to other people. Mm-hmm. We do want to be able to lift one another. That's the spirit of America. That's what we're all about here in the United States of America from the very beginning. Connectivity, living a life bigger than ourselves, and doing it without having to wait for the government to fix our problems. And the government can help us, Megan. Of course, the government has its responsibility. But if we really want to restore the fire to the American spirit, we got to do it right where we live. And I know you know that.
That quiet dignity, that love, that connection is a lovely sentiment and heartfelt. When you look at the American electorate right now, doesn't it feel like it's going a different way?
Megan, they're very concerned. Look, they're concerned that they're in their 50s and they're going to lose their job, either because the economy's bad or somebody from some other country is going to come in and steal their job by dumping something in this country that we can't compete against. They're worried about their kids being in a position where, they're not going to have the kind of life that you and I got from our parents. Mm-hmm. But they're looking for hope. They're looking to believe that the story doesn't have to end in a negative. And I don't believe that it does, Megan. I mean, look, we've been through a lot worse times in America than what we're going through now. And with a little leadership and some good conservative principles to reignite the economy and to make sure we leave no one behind, mm-hmm. I find people very hopeful. Look, I've done more town halls than virtually everybody put together. And I think I've got a pretty good sense of what people want, and they want to believe, and they want hope, they want change, and they want to believe that they themselves can help change the world. I believe it.
Governor Kasich, we are here now on the eve of the South Carolina primary. The polls put you in 5th or 6th place. What's the path ahead for you?
Oh, we're going to go all over the country, Megan. Look, when I finished strong in New Hampshire. People said that all the supporters that I would get in South Carolina could fit in a Volkswagen. Well, I mean, we've done better than that. We're going to be able to at least put them in a van, you know. And but we're moving from here. We're going. Yeah, we're going to Vermont, Massachusetts, Virginia on Monday, Mississippi, Louisiana, and we'll compete in Super Tuesday. We'll be in Michigan, Ohio. We're going to go all across the country, and you know, we're going to do better than people expect here. But we never expected to win, and it's not critical that we do. But we certainly want the people of South Carolina to come out and give us some support.
You know, not long ago, Rachel Maddow of MSNBC took some hits for getting up and hugging Clinton and Sanders at the end of a debate. I think it's safe to say that most of the anchors in this building and most of the people watching this show would like to give you a hug right now, just like that young man. Thank you for being here. It was just a nice moment, wasn't it? Just nice to see him connect with that suffering young man who had gotten to a better place listening to an optimistic message and helping to turn his life around.